All right. So if you're here for WESTWORLD, welcome. I'm happy to have you. Now, again, like I said for the Enya Only Time song, the link to purchase your WESTWORLD music will be in the comments after this video, okay? So take a peek in the comments if you still need to purchase your music. I will show you what I've done. I put it in a file folder, okay? And you can see I have it taped in there, right? WESTWORLD opening credits, right? And it's a 3-page song, so it fits really nicely in there, okay? So with this one, I do want to mention a couple things, all right? If you can, share this video. Let everybody know that you're learning piano and you're learning some amazing music. Today's WESTWORLD, right? If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I recommend that you do that. It makes it super easy to go back and watch a lesson or work on a specific tricky spot, okay? Also, it's called Izzy Chia. Just search for me there. If you need to get some additional support or you want some feedback from me, go ahead and join our private Facebook group called Encore Music Makers, okay? That is where you get feedback from me. If you need help, just record yourself doing something that's tricky, and I'll help you along with it, okay? And like I said, you'll be able to purchase this music at the link in the comments after the video, okay? Now, for WESTWORLD, let me turn this page here. Yeah, okay, so for WESTWORLD, so many awesome things in this song. Did you watch the show? Did you watch WESTWORLD? It's such an amazing show. Like, I wasn't even really into it that much the first season or two. My husband watched it and he was like really into it. And then this last season that was on, I just got hooked. And I love the opening credits, right? With the, a humanoid robot playing piano. I mean, who doesn't love that? So we're going to be playing that song that the humanoid robot person is playing, okay? WESTWORLD opening credits theme. This is going to be an A minor, okay? Woohoo for A minor. No crazy sharps or flats, right? So let's go over the A minor scale so that we can familiarize our ear and our fingers with the position, okay? Let's do that to start. All right, so here, I'm going to start here with A, right? And we're going to do a harmonic minor just because we're feeling fancy, right? All right, so let's switch to piano view so you can follow along. Let's get your right hand thumb on that A below middle C, everybody. We're going to play 1 octave scale. We're doing a harmonic minor scale, so we're going to raise that 7th tone. All right, everybody? Let's start with a finger 1. Ready? Very good. Now I'm going to say the finger numbers in case you're having some trouble, okay? Let's say it out loud. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay, there's your right hand, A minor scale. Now let's switch to the left hand, okay? Same thing, we're going to be doing the harmonic minor scale. We're going to be lifting that 7th tone in the scale, okay? Now, for the A minor for your left hand, you're starting on a finger 5. This is going to be below the C position bass staff. You're going to have an A down below. It's just a couple tones down, okay? Let's start with that pinky. Play it with our finger numbers, okay? I'm going to count off slowly. 1, 2, ready, play. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, right, so I think people are getting excited about this one. Yeah, so it really helps when you have like just a really rooted interest in the music that you're learning, right? Like as soon as I saw the opening credits of this show, I was hooked. Like it was just amazing, and I wanted to be able to play it. So why not? Let's learn it together. So starting here at part 1, okay? I want you to look at something really kind of funny. Look at the beginning time signature. It is crazy. We have 12/8 time, okay? You're probably like, mind blown. Like 12/8 time? Like what the heck is that? We're used to seeing things like 4/4 time or 3/4 time, or maybe even 6/8 time. But 12/8 time? That's like cray cray. That's okay, don't worry, okay? All it's referring to is that we're gonna have additional beats in this measure, right? So instead of having like 4 beats a measure, we're gonna have 12 beats in the measure, okay? And the bottom number, remember, is an 8, so it's telling you that the 8th note is going to get the beat, okay? Now, in order to oversimplify this, I want you to notice something. Look at the 3rd measure of your music. I see dotted quarter notes, right? But count how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 dotted quarter notes, okay? So each one of those dotted quarter notes is going to get like 3 mini beats, okay? So it's going to count 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, right? Notice I put the number on the big beat, right? So you can oversimplify that 12/8 time signature to like 4 beats in the measure, right? You can. It's just hard to write the dotted quarter note getting the beat on the bottom number of a time signature. Like what would you write? Like 4.5? I mean, you could, but it might be really confusing that way too. So I understand math-wise why they had to put 12/8 time, okay? But don't let it freak you out, all right? So let's look at the actual notes now, okay? Now, we're going to be learning all of part 1 and the first 3 measures of part 2, okay? So basically all of page 1, okay? Let me show you that really quick. Here is page 1. Bum, 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 bum. Awesome. So that's the part we're going to be learning for today's lesson, okay? You notice some really cool stuff happening here, okay? We have some octaves to start in the left hand, all right? We're going to be starting with a low A, all right? So this is going to be A below bass clef C. Stretch down another down the octave to the A, okay? And we're going to hold it for those 12 mini beats, okay? So let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 3, and then it goes down a third to an F. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Sounds cool, right? We're gonna get into this. This is gonna be great. All right, I'm gonna switch to piano view so you can watch. All right, I'm gonna actually play all of my octaves until we get to the beginning of part 2. All right, because I want you to notice how related all of these notes are. It's all within about a third of each other, okay? A third or a fourth. So let's count off. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. Down to F. sinister and dark and spooky. I love it. It's just such a change from the other stuff that we've been learning, right? We have like Enya, and then we had Animal Crossing, which was like super happy, but now we're like dark, and it's really cool and exciting. So that's the left-hand part, okay? So if we need to go through and write in our notes, let's do that, okay? So let's start. Just as a very rough cut, okay? So we're starting with an A, and then we go down to an F, right? Back up to A twice, and then down to F twice. Now at the start of line 2, we're back to the A. Down to F again. Now up to A again for that third measure of line 2. Now it steps down 1 to G twice. At the beginning of line 3, you have a B flat, so write that in if you need to. B flat again, down to A again. Okay, super fun for part 1. Now, let's move over to the right hand of part 1, okay? Notice the right hand is going to be the one keeping that consistent beat, right? It's like perpetually moving. Bum, 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 right? It's going to be so much fun. All right, so starting there, top line, third measure, that's where we come in for our right hand. We have an A, below middle C, up to C, D, then E, and then it's tied, okay? Very, very good opening. Line 2 begins A, E, D, C, and then a tied note. We'll come back to an A, C, D, E, and tied note. Very nice. This is where it gets fun. We have a B flat up to F, E, D, E, 2, 3, 4. That was really cool. I really like that because it's kind of like reminiscent of, I don't know if any of you have played any Rachmaninoff, but if you remember like the bells of, is it the bells of Moscow? It's like a C-sharp minor prelude Rachmaninoff, and it's got that effect of like bells ringing, like big church bells, right? That's kind of like the idea that I'm getting here, albeit it's not Rachmaninoff, but that's okay. Let's see if we can play the right hand part again, okay? And we are going to switch to piano view so you can see the fingers that I'm using, okay? All right, so starting here at the beginning, this is measure 3, all right? We're going to play the part 1 of WESTWORLD, right hand only. 1, 2, ready, play. A, C, D, E, tie, 2, 3, 4. A, D, C, tie, 2, 3, 4. A, C, D, E, tie, 2, 3, 4. B flat, F, E, D, E, 2, 3, 4. There you go. That's really great. Wow, what a great job. We're just like having fun at the piano. Great work. Okay, so you've learned the left hand and then the right hand, hands apart for part 1. Now let's see if we can put part 1 hands together. Because they're very slow and big beats and octaves, I think it's okay for us to attempt it hands together, okay? Well, let's give it a try. All right, so here we are with our A octave to begin. And then I have my thumb right hand on A below middle C, okay? So I'm going to count off very slowly so we can get this right, okay? 1, 2, ready, play. 2, 3, Was it like crazy hard, or were you able to keep up with me? Yeah? Sort of, kind of? We can always slow it down, okay? Don't ever worry if you can't keep up with me. That's A-okay. All right, now, that's part 1. We have a little bit of part 2 that I wanted to learn today too, because I wanted to give you a challenge, okay? So let's go back to hands apart, starting at part 2. Now the right hand is going to have its turn doing some octaves, and then we have some 16th notes and 8th notes at the bottom line that we need to work on as well, okay? So let's start at part 2, starting with that octave E, right hand. And let's just play through it and see what happens, okay? And then we're going to stop at the end of that page, okay? 1, 2, ready, play. 2. It gets kind of funky on that last line. I'm not going to lie. I probably messed up a little bit on the timing. Right? That measure right there, that last line, first measure, right hand, we have to make sure that it's just in line rhythmically with the left hand, because there's a lot of funny stuff going on in the left hand too. Let's try that right hand line, that right hand section, part 2. First 3 measures again, okay? All right, starting here with the E. All right, 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So there's that right hand again, all right? Now, as we're going through this, you'll want to be very aware of how the breakdown of the 8th notes go in the left hand, okay? They're going to line up rhythmically with certain notes in the right hand. So if you want to take a pencil, you can line up, count by count, the right note chord that goes with the left hand note, okay? This isn't for you to make sure that it's precise, okay? So if it's a quarter note, it goes straight down with the note right underneath it, right? And then it's 2 8th notes worth. You put another line and then another line, okay? So line it up as you see it. Do the math and figure it out, all right? I'm going to show you what I did for that first measure of part 2, okay? Where is it? Oh, there it is. You see it? You see those lines? If you need to hit the pause button, you can, so you can watch this later on YouTube, okay? Now I'm going to go down to the next measure so you can write down your lines there as well, okay? And if you're watching on YouTube later, you can always hit the pause button, okay? Hit the pause so you can write down those lines Excellent. Okay. Now that we've done that, let's look at the left hand section. Okay. So starting at part 2, left hand. My left hand thumb, finger 1, is going to be on this low F. And my pinky is going to stretch down an octave to the F below that. Super low, right? And what we're going to do is the thumb F, this one, we're going to be, it's broken down into our eighth notes, right? And remember, 12 eighth notes in one measure. That's exactly what is written out here. So it's basically like the mini heartbeat going on there, right? So let's see if we can play through that section, okay? Those 3 measures outlined by the left hand, octaves and eighth notes, okay? I'm going to count off. 1, 2, ready, play. Feels like that little bitty heartbeat, right? Going on underneath the music, right? That's the momentum that's building in the dramatic part of this music, okay? Let's try that again. If we need to write note names, we can. We have F octave, and then it goes down to D, okay? Then another D, then up to G, and G again, okay? Write that down if you need to. Okay. Let's start at the beginning of part 2, left hand, starting with that F octave, okay? 1, 2, ready, play. You know what? I just realized I wasn't using piano view. Let's hear it once more so you can watch how it happens, okay? Okay, I'm in my octave. Nice and low, all right? I'm going to count off. 1, 2, ready, play. So bad. Okay, so as you're practicing your WESTWORLD opening credits theme song, remember, part 1, you can probably play it hands together right off the bat for practice, okay? I want it to get to the point where those chords and those movements are like autopilot, right? You don't necessarily have to think about moving a certain direction or a certain interval, right? I want it to get to the point where it's coming very easily and very naturally to you, okay? Now, for part 2, I would definitely try and keep it hands apart to start, okay? Couple days of practice hands apart until you're very, very confident in those octaves and in those jumps, okay? Same thing with the excellent rhythm keeping in the left hand. It needs to be even. If it's not even, you know, if you're thinking WESTWORLD, everything that's automated and everything that's like, AI and all of this stuff, it runs smoothly like computers, all the technology, right? That's the idea I want you to get from this rhythmic beat in the left hand, right? Every eighth note, all 12 of them are important, okay? Because it's keeping that heartbeat going, right? That heartbeat. Okay, so definitely practice that hands apart while you are initially learning this piece. Now, as the week progresses, if you want to try it hands together, I absolutely want you to do that, okay? Give yourself the freedom to make those mistakes, because you will, trust me. But also let yourself have a chance to try and achieve something like that, okay? Remember, each of these lessons is built incrementally, so you have little victories, okay? It's not going to be something that is I'm going to give you way too much to learn in 1 week. That would be a terrible thing for me to do, and then I would be a bad teacher. I'm learning this along with you, so I don't want to make myself look terrible, and I don't want to make you feel bad. I want you to feel good about your music, okay? So keep it going. Part 2, hands apart for the first half of the week. Second half of the week, try it hands together. If you notice that the tempo is very difficult to keep when it's hands together, then I would either take it hands apart again or keep it hands together but slow the tempo down, okay? You can always build up your tempo up. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Does that sound good? Now, to close this, of course, I have to like try and play this whole section hands together. Let's see what happens. It might be terrible, it might be wonderful. Who knows, but I know you'll stick with me. Give me some cheers, okay? Let's see if we can do this. All right, so I'm here with my A, and then I have my right hand here with my A as well, with my thumb. All right, so I'm gonna count off, and then we're just gonna see what happens. It might be terrible, it might be wonderful. Let's find out. 1, 2, ready, play. I got a little confused at the bottom with I guess the 16th notes, but that was to be expected because I had never tried it hands together there before, so it kind of surprised me. I am glad though that the 8th note, consistent rhythmic heartbeat, was there in the left hand because that really helped me with my counting. So anyway, thanks for joining me today. It was a lot of fun. I hope that you had a good time. I would love to remind you guys that I am running a donation-based studio. So if you find that these piano lessons have been fun and helpful and you're just having a good time, consider becoming a patron on Patreon, okay? I have different levels of donations, monthly donations that you can make, ranging from $5 a month to $10 a month, $20 a month, or even $50 a month. You get a little bit more for every level that you join. So consider it. I'd really appreciate it. It's been tricky since I've lost my income. I'm slowly gaining it back, but it's been difficult. So if you find it in your wallet or in your heart to support me, go ahead and visit patreon.com/IzzyChia and you'll find it there. Okay? And that's about it. I have here a music quote to close our lesson. And this is a quote coming from the iconic reggae musician and artist, Bob Marley. And this is what he says. "One good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain." And that's definitely true. Music is so helpful in just getting through difficult times, and I'm just very grateful that we have it, right? It's just such a beautiful expression of humanity across cultures, right? Across the entire world. It doesn't matter where you're from. Music just really touches all of us. So, thanks again. I'll see you guys soon, all right? I'll see you in the private group, and I'll see you on YouTube, all right? Take care, guys.